Wherever possible. If you've got a room which is exactly sort of 3 metres and 90,
you're going to have to run it off somewhere.
because we know all 4 metre carpets come up at 396, do they? Yeah? But if you've got a room exactly that wide, well then you're going to have to skirt a wall. But really, you should not be skirting the wall. You need to get tension on this all the way around. No wall's perfectly straight. What you're going to end up doing is putting less tension on it in places, or more tension and so on, and it will distort it. So literally what Dan's doing here, because he's made life hard for himself, really, by not skirting the wall, he's just going to make sure that it's running straight. He's just run a line there, got in between the row of tubs, and then he's just measured that from one end and the other. He's not doing it in the middle or whatever, it's just one end and the other, just making sure that it's parallel.
You just fold that back and use a tape measure, or just use something.
Yeah, measure off the skirting board, and then it just tells you that it's running exactly straight. Yeah, so you're happy with that, are you, Dan? Right, okay. What are the rules for stretching a carpet? The rules are, you should always start at the furthest point from the door. Now we're quite lucky, yeah, because there's no door, he's had to climb in through the window. Yeah? So we haven't got a door, but we say the door's over there. It's over that side, over in that corner, on that wall over there. So the furthest point away from that door is over here, isn't it? Yeah, if I was to stand in that room, that's the furthest point away from that door that I can get. So that's where he needs to start. You should always work away from where you started, never work back towards where you started. Always stretch the length before the width. They're the golden rules of actually stretching. If there's an obstacle in the room, that changes it slightly. You have to work away from an obstacle. So if it's an L shape, you work away from that corner bit, that L shape that comes in, and you break it down into little blocks. It's basically the same stretching pattern for any shape of room. So Dan's going to start over here, because that's the length of the carpet just there, that's the width, and he's going to get this corner on first, just there. He's got to hook this corner on. So he needs to hook it over the angle of the spikes, you can't just push it down on two. So he's just going to hook it over, just a little tap. It's not moving the carpet, it's just getting it to move that 1 or 2 mil over the angle of the spike, so it can sit right down onto the gripper. Have you done this side as well? Yeah, if you get down to that, yeah, get about 3 knee kick heads, a foot, 30 centimetres, something like that, and just get that hooked on, gives you a good start. Yeah? Now, I know I said you've got to stretch the length before the width, but you can't stretch the length until you've got one end on. Yeah? So what Dan's going to do now is he's going to go exactly opposite him. He's going to keep his knee kicker parallel with the wall. If he moves it at an angle at all, he's either going to push it out of shape that way or push it out of shape that way. So he keeps it parallel, and he's going to just do one good stretch into that corner, just there. Let's put tension across that wall. He's now going to come back to this corner because he's got to work away from where he started, not back towards it. So it means either getting up, coming over, or crawling back into that corner. And at a 10-degree angle, 10 degrees. Yeah, not 45. It's alright, we're still learning angles at the moment, yeah. That is basically a 10-degree angle on your knee kicker. If you was to keep either side of that parallel with the wall, you know that that's a 10-degree angle. You don't want to distort it, you just want to make sure that you're not putting any puckers into it or leaving excess material behind as you're hooking this wall on. So you just go there, not moving the knee kicker any more than the width of the knee kicker, and hook that on to the gripper. You see, he's hardly moving that. What's the point? Well, the point is to get it secured onto the gripper. Yeah? Once he's done that all the way into the corner, he'll then set that down onto the gripper using the speed cap there. You can use whatever you want, but the speed cap will not bend the spikes over. It won't put like a little hook on it. So, that's that first wall on. We can now get the length stretch. So what he's going to do is he's going to come down to this corner, because he wants to finish up over in that corner over there where the doorway is supposed to be. He's going to do exactly the same down here now. He's going to keep his see, he works obviously different to me. Putting a little bit of tension there, but what he's going to do is come down to that corner and do exactly the same as what he's just done on this wall. One straight stretch just to get the tension on before he comes back here, and at a 10-degree angle he's going to hook this wall on. Yeah, so he's got that down there. It's just called a temporary stretch because by the time he gets down there, it's probably pulled off. That's it. So where you got?
So temporary stretch there,
No,
just 10 degrees.
No, come here.
Yeah.
10 degree down here, please.
All the way down.
Yes. Listen to me, Dan. Yeah. So no more than the width of the head all the way down. Just hooking it onto the gripper, not distorting it, not pulling it out of shape. All the way down, and then it's going to set it down onto the gripper. Yeah. Again, using the speed. Any of you guys got a speed pack? You'll notice he can't use it properly because he's left-handed. Yeah. They're only really designed for right-handed people. When they were first designed, I helped Tim, who actually sort of designed this in the first place. I helped him, and we sort of said, well, don't worry about left-handed people. They're all wrong anyway. Okay, so we've got this on now. We've got an L shape on there. This cannot be pulled out of shape. It is physically impossible now for this to be pulled out of shape. What I would do is I would run a line now and just make sure that I have not pulled it out of shape. But we know you ain't, don't we, Dan?
Yeah.
Because he's good.
Yeah, but that line.
So he keeps telling me. Yeah. So we would just check, just make sure. Now's the ideal time to adjust it if he needs to. He could just lift one end, sort of like tweak it or whatever. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's straight. Yeah. So we're nice and straight. What Dan's going to do now, he's going to go down into that corner over there. He's going to do a temporary stretch into that corner in line with where he started. So he's pulling it across and down at the same time. Yeah. That gives him, that's just a temporary stretch. It will probably move by the time he gets there. But now what he's going to do is he's going to stretch the length before the width. We know this is the length. He goes back to where he started, so he's working away from where he started. Yeah, working away from where he started at roughly a 10-degree angle over to the temporary stretch.
You have to have the stretcher back a bit, the kicker, when it's double gripper, don't you?
Yeah, only a little bit back. You see, that's quite a good point that Dan's made there. It's the front of the knee kicker. You notice there's no spikes on there, there's only the cottonette, isn't there, on the front part of it. Yeah, those naps, when you're only using one row of gripper, should end up on top of the gripper. So it's instantly getting it onto the gripper and holding it on there. If you've double banked, you've got to hold it back. You know, another length of gripper or thickness of gripper, so that your spikes are not pushing the gripper up off the floor. Now we've got the length on. Now we're going to come back to where we started, ending up working up in that corner over there, which is diagonally opposite to where we started. If that happens, you know you've done the correct grip.
You can see the fullness at that 10 degrees,
yeah,
gets you.
That's why this is they're only temporary stretches. We might have to lift that when we get there. Just a 10-degree angle, just a subtle little angle to get that on. Yeah, and there you go. How to fit carpets al fresco. Yeah. How many patios do you know that's got a stretch fit carpet? Not many, I know. So Dan would then just check the grip. You're not going to cut that in yet, mate. We're going to use a power stretcher.
Yeah. Moving out your way.
Oh, I'm doing the power stretcher. I've got to do something. Right, okay, so there you go. Dan would then just check the tension on that, just make sure, do the pinch test on it, or even what you can do is just use a knee kicker. You can literally just get your foot up against the skirting board and just push the knee kicker. That bubble will appear in front of it. You let it go. If it goes straight down, you've got perfect tension. If it goes down like a parachute, you know you need to put more tension on it. Yeah?
That's the normal install with the kicker. Let's see what happens to it with the power stretcher.
Well, what we want to do is basically what I want to do is just lift it a bit. We could mark the backing and just show sort of like how much tension we've got on this, how far we've done it. But when you're power stretching, guys, the start of the job is exactly the same. Yeah? What you do is you get this end on, okay? You hook this corner off, you do a temporary stretch across there, and then you'll come along and just hook that on at a 10-degree angle. Where it changes, cheers mate. Right, so we're back to sort of like the first stage, right? We've done that. That's only 390 wide, so unless it's a really sort of problematic carpet, a really stiff carpet, we're not going to be using the power stretcher on that. But you know, British standards are now saying to me it's got to be power stretch if it's 4 metres or more in length or width. So we've got the power stretcher just here. Okay, this is the power stretcher. Then that bar goes down, which means the spikes are allowed to go deeper into the material that you're actually installing. If you undo them, the bar comes up, and then the spikes can't go as deep. It's a bit of a sort of like archaic thing. What we've got here is we've got these sort of like spacers, haven't they? Yeah. And they come in various different thicknesses and whatever. But I generally have this one. I find that this is the one that you know you sort of like default one if you like. Yeah. Power stretcher I've got is a swivel head. It's not a junior. It's not a static head. We've got the power lock. The power lock is really quite good because that just, you're not forever trying to adjust these things.
When you move the head and lift the arms, all it increases that power lock.
Yeah. These, they're only every 4 inches or so, right? You know, so that's that. And you've got the stop just there. Yeah. This one is not a Roberts stop. This one's a crane stop. I've sort of like mix and match here because this one's brilliant. You can work off of external corners and everything because it does that and so on. So it's quite a nice piece of kit. So that basically goes up there. You notice as well, guys, that we don't trim and tuck anything until it's totally stretched on. Yeah. If you do, the chances are, if you've distorted it or whatever, you're stuck with that. You've actually started cutting pressure on the corners aren't right. Exactly. So you've got the power stretcher there. I might have to have a small one. We ain't gonna.
No, I think you don't need that one.
No, take that. We'll have a small one. Not used to doing such small rooms. On there. Right, okay. So that's that. And we've got the head. Okay, so eventually we're there. Yeah. Now we need to do a temporary stretch. That temporary stretch needs to be straight. And what you don't want to do is you really don't want that handle sort of right upright like that because you'll be trying to pull it back. What you want to do is use body weight. I'm really good at that because I've got quite a bit of body weight, so I don't have to put too much effort into it. And what you do is literally get that like so, put some weight on the front and literally just move that down. I can then take that off. Cheers. I'm just holding that on there like that. I can then, if I want, put even more on there. Lift that off and put that on like so. Nice one there. Did anybody, for you guys down there, I don't know if you noticed that this twisted just then. Did you notice that the carpet twisted? If I do that again, right, and if you want to watch this, what happens is the carpet twists in. The reason being for that is because I'm only stretching that little bit there, that doesn't want to move. But there's no carpet on this side over here, so it literally twists in. And if you've been sort of like making sure that this is running nice and straight, by me putting that temporary stretch on, it's just twisted. So if I do that again, you'll be able to see. Can you see that? Yeah, the puckering just there. Well, that's because it's actually twisted in. Because there's no resistance that side, there is resistance this side. Don't know if you're familiar with knee kickers at all, guys, but there's a little bit in the middle, a little dent in the middle of a knee kicker. My old man always used to tell me that's for putting a nail there so that you could hit it with an hammer. Yeah? It's not. It's basically there to put on top of the power stretcher, just there onto the corner of the power stretcher. And now what I can do is move the carpet back into square and release the tension so it's now running straight. It needs that little bit of adjustment just there. That is done by literally just getting onto there and moving it across. Once you've done that, yeah, you release that tension and then you can come back over here, 10-degree angle, all the way down. Just a little tap there, not moving the carpet in any way, just getting it over the angle of the spikes. If you don't, when you start stretching that way, it's just going to pull off of those spikes. The strongest part of those spikes is right at the base. It's not the tip. If it's just sitting on the tip, it'll pull like that. If it's right down there, it's really hard to pull off of those. So once we've done that, then we come over here at an angle. It's exactly the same sequence as when you're using a nail, when you're using a knee kicker, and literally just put some tension on there. I'm going to put a bit more. And that's just a temporary stretch into that corner. Okay, now carpets are woven or tufted with so many tufts per square inch. Yeah, and the more tufts you've got per square inch, the better it performs, because you've got his partner next door that's giving it a bit of support because he's nice and close. If I overstretch it, what do? I start getting a gap in between those tufts, which means overstretching a carpet is just as bad as understretching a carpet. Yeah, just make sure that you've got the right amount of tension. Now there is a way of working it out, and they say it's 1.25%. How do I work that out? 1.25% tension on a carpet? Well, you can do it. It's quite easy. It's all you got to do is you put a mark on the back of the carpet, put a bit of masking tape on the skirting board, have those marks so they line up, and you go, right, it's 10 metres, it needs to move 15 centimetres or whatever. Yeah, so you put another mark 15 centimetres away, and when the two are in line, you've got exactly the right tension on it. It's easy. They did make a special gizmo that went in between your power stretcher head at one stage, and well, I think because it's not about anymore, just goes to show that it was a waste of time. Yeah. So once you've done that, then we can come back. Can come back just there. A little bit of tension. I'm now going to come over this side because my weight can actually, well, it doesn't, because you could have a grand piano on here and this power stretcher will still pull the carpet. Yeah, but I'm just at a 10-degree angle, probably about there. Yeah, I keep the tension on that bit over there, and then so forth. But I want to put a bit more on there. Yeah.
So when you got all the poles in this, poles start to bow down the steam.
Yeah, well what you do is you have a spotty lad. Yeah, spotty lads are brilliant for standing on the poles and stopping them from doing that. Yeah. Or you can put the knee kickers, you can put one side, put the other one that side, and then it can't move from side to side then, that stops it from moving. They did make these like spurs, do you remember those? That you used to stick across the pole, and they had like, you know, like a spiky roller, they had those on it, about 4 of those on it, and it used to rip the carpet because it skid, yeah, whereas this one, but most of the time you'll find that will literally do that as well, so you will need somebody to stand on it or whatever. Yeah, so just going to go along here. Just put the rest of the tension on. Back there into that corner. And I don't know if you want to have a look here, guys, but you can see the mark that Dan put down. Yeah, the little mark on the end where he done the knee kicker and he had really good tension on it. But if you want to look at this now, you see that mark in a little area like this, it's about 1 inch there, about 30 mil, with no effort or whatever. Yeah, no effort on my knees. No burning knees at the end of the day. The longest part of that is just setting it up, but you get really good tension on it. So that's a power stretcher, that's how it